This episode of Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief is brought to you by Right By You Mortgage. Wherever life takes you, we're right by you. Visit rightbyyoumortgage.com/podcast to learn more.
From WRAL News and the Capital Broadcasting Podcast Network, this is your Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief for Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. I'm Brian Schrader. For the seventh straight day, more than 1,000 COVID patients are in the hospital in North Carolina. North Carolina Health Secretary Dr. Mandy Cohen says our numbers are moving in the wrong direction. She reminded everyone to remain vigilant as more people venture out under Phase 3 and the holiday season approaches. When asked about hospital capacity, Dr. Cohen says it's not an issue at this time, but that could change if we continue to see spikes into the flu season.
We are very lucky that our hospitals have really been working in close collaboration with each other and with us. We've been working on response and surge plans since the beginning of this pandemic. We do have to watch that closely, particularly for some of our small hospitals that if they got a surge of patients could get quickly overwhelmed. We need to make sure our larger hospitals are able to help them out, that we at the state are able to support them with either materials or staff or whatever the resources that they might need. Right now, we have capacity in our state, and that is a good thing. But we know that that capacity is finite. It is fixed. And so we know that we have to be careful about the spread of this virus. That's why we go back to those 3 W's. We want to turn these trends around right now. As we think about heading into flu season, when hospitals are known to be more crowded and more stretched in a normal year, this is why we need everyone to get their flu shot and do the 3 W's, because our capacity is going to be stretched as we head into the winter months before COVID. So we now know adding COVID to that is going to be a challenge, so we have to work extra hard right now.
Early voting starts this week, and the campaigns are headed to North Carolina to hold rallies. State health officials want to remind anyone attending one of those rallies to be smart, do the best you can with social distancing, and to wear a mask. WRAL's David Crabtree spoke exclusively with White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany about her own coronavirus diagnosis and what's being done to encourage safety at President Trump's campaign events.
Any concern about what some people could say are mixed messages with campaigning in person and large crowds?
No, we encourage mask wearing. We hand out masks at the rallies. Hand sanitizer as well is available. Cases that are upticking, it's notable that so too is testing upticking, because we are leading the world in testing. And we're at a much better place today to handle COVID-19 than we were when this novel virus came in from China. Now, you'll see that the mortality rate is much lower. It's because of the landmark therapeutics President Trump has developed. And a vaccine is on its way. It'll be the fastest vaccine in history, should we have it by the end of the year, which we think we will.
Kayleigh, I'm curious, when you say you hand out masks at rallies and people choose not to put them on, does that make you shake your head?
Ultimately, it's the decision of the individual. Last night I was watching, and many people did choose to wear their mask. We encourage it and advise using the mask, especially when you can't socially distance. Now, a mask is not a catch-all. There were several photographers who indeed caught COVID-19 even with a mask, but it certainly is an extra barrier of protection that we encourage all to use.
And here's some great news on our efforts to help nonprofits in need in our area. WRAL's Here to Help initiative partnered with the United Way to raise money for a rapid response fund, which now has distributed all of the $1.4 million raised to more than 100 area nonprofits. That fund was launched in March in direct response to the pandemic. This has been your Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief for Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Leave a rating or review wherever you listen, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a new episode. I'm Brian Schrader. Thanks for listening.
When it comes to buying a new home, you want to know that you're in good hands. At Right By You Mortgage, the dedicated team of lenders live in your community and are committed to being right by you every step of the way. Whether you are a growing family, a relocating professional, or a retiring couple, they'll partner with you to find the right loan to fit your unique home buying needs. Plus, with a Right By You Mortgage on-time closing guarantee, they'll pay you and the seller $500 if you don't close on time. Visit rightbyyoumortgage.com/podcast to get started. Wherever life takes you, we're right by you. Go to rightbyyoumortgage.com/podcast for full details. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 402136.